to Totally Normal Gaming, where tonight we are discussing, amongst other things, the Hobbit films and what we think of them.
And up next, we're going to discuss continuity in the Friday the 13th franchise.
Oh, this weekend was Friday the 13th, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
I
know what? You know what
trust,
the best part was? We were camping by a lake
I
on
was going
Friday
to
the 13th.
say, I trust we all celebrated by watching Sean S. Cunningham's masterpiece, Friday the 13th.
I was going for reenactment. Didn't pan out. We did have some nice campfire food, but ooh, so I can hear someone's background. No,
Friday the 13th, the only film so good it has made me write poems about it.
is that true?
Yeah, written like 10 of them.
I don't. I don't know if I want to poke that bear right now.
You've seen most of them.
I'm sure I have. Sure I have. Oh, they're brilliant.
They're okay. They have modest virtues, not unlike myself.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Bilbo Baggins as Martin Freeman, modeled after our very own Ezra. Uh, this okay. Hold on, just to go back real quick. That opening scene with Gandalf walking up to the gate and Bilbo being there smoking his pipe. First of all, is almost word for word. Are you eating a cheeseburger?
Talking to me?
No, never mind. It's almost word for word from the book, and also the delivery is unbelievably good. They are both phenomenal. And Martin Freeman, like I've watched it a couple times now because, like I said, my son's getting into it, and it just blows me away how much I believe he is Bilbo. Like he just really like his facial expressions, the way he says things, his delivery. It really feels like the subtlety in that first scene is incredible. What's Gandalf say? He says, "I'm looking for someone to go on an adventure." And Bilbo's like, "But an adventure? I don't think you'll find anyone east of Bree." It's just the incredulity of the misanthrope that is early Bilbo, and then later Bilbo.
Bill, did you grow up
Yay,
watching
pixel
the
fish.
Rankin and Bass Hobbit cartoon?
Um, yeah, I had watched, and also the old school Lord of the Rings animated movie, which goes to like like there is it doesn't finish, right? It ends in the worst spot ever.
Yeah, well, the fact that they squashed the two books into one movie, and then they weren't sure if they were going to be able to make a sequel, so they had to act like the victory at Helm's Deep was the end. Ugh.
Yeah, I so my son is going to be able is looking forward to watching the third Hobbit movie, which is the one that I don't want to watch with him
Yeah,
because
oh,
it's
it's
terrible.
there's so many beheadings in that movie.
He's
Like,
like, "Dad, every movie gets better, and I just watched the trailer for the third one, and it looks even better than the first two."
yeah, he's gonna love it. He's gonna think it's the best one.
He probably is. So now he's like, "Well, I want to read the Fellowship of the Ring." But there's a big like, he's only 7
He's
and
really young.
he's 7 and he cleaned up the Hobbit pretty easily, but there's a big difference in reading levels
Yeah.
between those two things. And I think he's going to get to the songs and like just be done with it. Like I can't. So I'm trying to temper his expectations here.
My dad read The Lord of the Rings to me when I was pretty young. He might have done The Hobbit when I was like 6 and started The Lord of the Rings when I was like 7 or 8. And I still remember a few moments from the books from that.
Yeah.
Reading
I
reading
think
it
he could
yourself at
muscle
that
through.
age is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple slogs that are going to be hard to get through.
Yeah. I mean, even this is I don't know if I should say this out loud to our 4 viewers, but I've never been a huge fan of Tom Bombadil, even though people love him to death. Um, I think Tom Bombadil is overrated, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the Tom Bombadil writing is so much different than the rest of the book in terms of tone, and also in terms of just the way that the prose is structured. I think it's on purpose. I mean, I give Tolkien enough credit to be like, I want this to be more whimsical and kind of, weird and out there. But it's hard because it's earlier on than you remember usually.
To
Um,
be fair, you can skip that entire part and you miss nothing from the plot.
yeah, I mean, you miss a couple gifts and a couple of, you know, where did that thing come from? It came from Tom Bombadil, but yeah, it's not hugely
You could
important.
probably skip a lot of the songs too.
That's
If
true,
I was
except
reading it out loud to a 7-year-old, I definitely would.
that yeah, you wouldn't unless it was my son who demand that you sing them every single word of every single song.
Oh, we'll enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who set that expectation?
I, I want to blame my wife, but yeah, I'm gonna blame my wife. It was her fault. She's not here to defend herself, so it's probably her fault. All right, we should first of all, happy Father's Day to at least two of you, and anybody else out there.
I was wished a happy Father's Day today
Were you?
by yeah, at the pizza place. And they were regulars there, so it was a little confusing, but I
You
did say
you were
thank you.
working, correct? That's pretty good. I like that. Um, Happy Father's Day, and happy Father's Day to our legions of fans. I hope it was a good one. And so today's game is going to have absolutely nothing to do with Father's Day. However, we should recap what you all did last week. If you recall correctly. Do you? What do you remember?
I cannot remember a single thing from last week. If only we had notes.
It was 7 days ago.
Here's the first note. We tell that lady we are going to try to talk to Skip and come back.
Ophelia.
That's a good start.
You did go speak to Qual, remember? Is it
Yeah,
Qual?
so we went to the Bent Mermaid. Nicolo got kicked out.
Sounds like it was a
We learned a
ritual.
lot about Jana.
Yeah, Janice shared some of her past with the group. It was a real moment of vulnerability and
We decided that
solidarity.
the middle horn was too fancy for us, which had nothing to do with Jana's past. And now we're gonna sleep at the Bent Mermaid. Uh, yeah. We talked to Qual a lot, and there was some, a little good, a little bad. He asked us to move some bodies around, and we said, We'll get back to you." We put it to a vote and decided that we were going to try to work with Ophelia. We went back there, and wouldn't you know it, she said, "Hey, I need you to look into the disappearance of two of my people." And, that kind of rang a bell. Something that one of us might have mentioned 20 seconds ago. Um, and that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There were some minor details in there, I think. For example, Qual asked you to move some bodies, but he mentioned why he wanted those bodies moved. Remember? Do you remember? Did anybody remember?
I think he wants to frame somebody.
Yes. Good. He wanted to frame some nobleman.
Yeah, he
Um,
wants us to move them as a gesture of trust. And we decided we would much rather tell Ophelia all of our drama rather than do that.
all right, good. And I think you left off having just left Ophelia's. You had agreed to look into the disappearances of her two employees, and you didn't really ask a ton of questions. probably because it was late. But
Yeah, did she give us a place to start the investigation?
no, she did not. But if you want to go back in and talk to her some more, we can retcon this a little bit and say you didn't actually finish the conversation.
Yeah, yeah, we just need to know where to start. Lady Ophelia, sorry to do that like turnstile thing where we went out the Grandpa Simpson thing where we walked in, turned around in a circle, grabbed our hat, and walked back out again. Uh, where should we start? Like where do you think that these two people disappeared from? Who can we talk to?
Um, well, I can tell you where they were working that night. Um,
Sure,
yeah, it's a place called the Barking Kitty.
great name.
Um, it's an establishment that I own, and it is run by a man named, hold on, Trant Rotus. Tell him I sent you. And
Trant Otis.
no,
Pretty sure I got that last name wrong.
Rotus.
Rotos.
We sh-
US.
you should. They've been missing since last night. It's they never returned from a job that they went on, and also neither did their security. So I fear the worst.
Can you give us the names?
Uh, Gaius, Flavia were the two workers' names, and their security escort names was Padro.
Okay. And they would have been going, they had left the Barking Kitty to go on a job and they never came back.
I'm thin on the details. That's why I'm sending you.
Yeah. All right. Can you point us in the direction of the Barking Kitty? Very good. We're gonna get right on this.
What did they look like?
Um, I mean, they were beautiful young people. Um, Gaius, it was 24, brown hair, brown eyes. Um, you know, very tanned, olive complexion skin. Um, and Flavia was very dark haired, delicate boned, high cheekboned. Um, yeah, she gives you some general descriptors.
Both human.
Yes.
All right. We'll be on our merry way.
Were they carrying anything special that would mark them as one of your people?
Um, Not really. That's why their security escort travels with them. But also, I'm the only gig in town, so people know when there are parties or gatherings or whatever it is, they know that it's going to be my people there. I haven't had any of my people go missing in more than 5 years.
So where's their security now? Sorry, I was
Missing also.
okay.
He's an independent contractor, so technically not one of my people.
They would have only had just the one person with them,
They would have had one person to get them to the job. Most,
right?
again, we haven't had any sort of incident in 5 years. And you know, Trant hires his own security, and I trust his opinion on it. So if he only sent one, he must have thought you were only going to need one.
Does he
Yep.
hire them through the Mercenary Guild?
He does.
Good to know. All right.
You know, lead on where we need to go, Ezra?
Yeah, shall we? Shall we go?
Sure, why not?
You know what would be great if we're going to a place called the Barking Kitty. Um, Dirk, how do you feel about me polymorphing you into a barking kitty?
Where is Dirk? He did not say he was not going to be here. Oh, I think this is the last run of his last show for the summer. I think it's tonight. So, um, yeah, that's probably where he is. Uh, if you want to waste a polymorph spell,
I don't. I like I just like talking about it since he's not here to respond. I do think it's a little insulting, Bill, that you named one of your NPCs a name so similar to the alias that I gave Owen, which is Tranton Holier Than Thou.
yeah. So all naming complaints can be forwarded to randomnamegenerator.com.
Mm.
They prefer their complaints in email form.
Gelidus, I don't think I told you yours. Yours is Strom Moon Cheese.
Also, Trant's full name is very close to an anagram of my last name. So something weird's going on here.
Yeah, this is you guys have really tapped into my hierarchical web spinning.
Moon cheese. I like it.
Yeah, but whatever name you managed to convince that uh, jewelry of yours to call you is that's fine too.
Yeah, but it's not moon cheese. It's moonch ease. So it just
Sounds fancier that way.
Oh no, everybody's frozen. I had a
Yeah.
blip.
Oh, yep, you did have a blip. It looks like maybe we're back, sort of back.
That's
Can you hear me?
quotable. Munch ease.
Moonch is. But it's actually YS. It's spelled like the oh God, who's the harp lady? Bill, you know. Who's the harp lady? In real life, in the real world. The
Oh
with the
yeah.
crazy voice,
Yeah.
it's right on the
Joanna
tip of my
Newsom.
tongue. Yeah, yeah, it's spelled like her album. YS ease. Anyway, God, stop distracting me. Hey, look, we're outside the Barking Kitty.
You
This is
probably
it.
have
It's just
to
like
ask directions, but
she
everybody
gave us
knows.
directions.
Yeah, she pointed. Um,
Okay.
everyone knows where it is, so it's not that difficult to find. You don't really need to look at the map, but if you were to look at the map, you would see that it is towards the north low hill area, and it is a from the outside. Honestly, it looks just like a house, kind of like a fancy house or a big house. But there is a sign out front that says Munch Ease. No, that says the Barking Kitty. Um, it's sort of like a speakeasy in that the sign is kind of like hard to see from the street. You got to know where it is. Then you walk up and you see the sign like behind some bushes, and then you walk up to the door and it looks like a regular door, and you knock, and there's one of those like, slide things, and you see, some guy's eyes. Um, also, keep in mind that it is early afternoon right now, right? So it's not their
Prime
prime.
horn time.
Okay, there it is.
this
Anyway,
guy's been around the block.
the voice behind the door says, we're closed. We're not open yet. You gotta come back in 3 hours."
Hey, is Lady Ophelia sent us. We're here on her behalf and on behalf of Flavii and Gaius. We've been asked to look into their disappearance from last night. We're hoping that we might be able to ask around, talk to some people, ask some people, talk to some around.
Hold on a second. The thing slides shut. A couple minutes go by, then the door opens. There's a real slab of a man standing on the other side.
You must be Trant.
No, the boss is this way though.
Should we come with you?
Yeah.
Are those
Thanks.
real?
What's real?
Nothing. Let's go.
He leads you in. It's very posh on the inside. You can see that there is a bar area that is a bar lounge, and there's a stage in the middle where it looks like some dancing might happen. There's room for some music, and then it looks like there's stairs that go upstairs. There's also private little dance rooms, and then there's like rentable hotel rooms upstairs. There he is. There's a guy who was now an actual barking kitty.
What?
Just kidding. We didn't actually polymorphed. And yeah, it's nice in the inside, and then he takes you to an office in the back. The office door is open. Sitting in behind a rather large desk is a broken-nosed, flat-faced, obviously former legionary of some rank, sitting behind the desk. He looks up when you come in. He's actually got a bunch of papers out. This is a guy who has clearly seen combat, right, in an army. And he looks like he's a no-nonsense, no-bullshit kind of guy. He nods at you when you come in.
Can I do a? Can I try to peek at his papers real quick?
Sure.
What do you want for that?
Probably perception.
13.
Yeah. Papers. Working papers.
Okay.
I'm going to mute you, Dirk, real quick because your mic is picking up everything. Yes, please, sit down. Close the door behind you, he says to whoever comes in last. Probably Miss Awkward, Jana. Assuming you all sit, he says, how can I help you?
You must be Trant.
I am. Who are you?
This is where I pause and recognize that 2 weeks ago I made a big deal about how we were all supposed to be using aliases, and then last week I immediately forgot and introduced myself to Qual as Ezra. So I think I'm gonna leave the aliases behind because it's too much trouble for my little brain. And we're back. My name is Ezra. These are my colleagues. We are colloquially known as the Spicy Oranges, although I'm workshopping other names if you have any suggestions. Lady Ophelia mentioned that a few of your staff disappeared last night. Two workers and their security detail. We are hoping to investigate their disappearance.
Yeah, everyone can make me an insight check.
Nat 1.
Oh, God, Zerwin, you're the best.
24.
17.
No hablo español.
24.
Okay. Everyone who rolls above a 15 notices that Trant's face when you mention the disappearing dancers. He had on, you didn't realize it because he was so kind of like stony faced, but he had on his friendly face when you walked in. But when you mentioned the missing sex workers, he looks angry.
I apologize if I was too direct.
Yes, you said Ophelia sent you.
Nothing
Yes.
for me with a Nat 1.
Oh, I'm waiting.
Okay.
It's coming.
This guy's an anchovy. You're having residual anchovy from last night.
You said Ophelia sent you?
She did.
I am going to find out what happened to them. And when I do, someone is going to be in a lot of fucking pain for a long fucking time. Zerwin, now is when your Nat 1 kicks in. The way he says this, it makes you're pretty sure that he's talking about um, himself. You think he did it. Like he's trying too hard and he's trying to cover it up, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Do you know where they were going to do their work last night?
Here's what I know. I've spoken with almost everyone. Hold on, let me find it. You're welcome to talk to any of my people who were on last night also, but here's what I have. It's pretty common for noblemen to send representatives to this place to find entertainment for the night, especially later in the evening. When they do that, we generally find out who they are and who they work for. And then we send an appropriate bodyguard. We haven't had an incident here in years.
5 years.
Yes. And the last time it happened, it was in-house. And it was just someone being drunk. People in this city know who works for who, and they don't usually break those rules. I chose Padro to go with them. Padro's very capable. Gaius and Flavia are popular and relatively new. They have only been here for 8 months and 9 months, respectively, but they've always clicked and they like working together. They agreed to go together. The man that hired them was named Geegan. The name isn't anywhere else in my records. I have no evidence of any Geegan having been here before. Usually I personally approve every person who comes in and comes out. Last night when these two left, I happened to be busy working with another problem, so I didn't actually get a chance to meet Geegan.
Mm-hmm.
So Gigan would have been the representative and not the noble himself.
Correct.
What was the trouble that preoccupied you?
That's not really any of your business, but it's internal trouble.
Yes, obviously. Yep.
Is there any, I'm asking if you'll allow me to explain or elucidate, and this doesn't mean that I'm asking you to tell me, but did it seem abnormal, almost as if it was planned to distract you?
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what it was.
I get up and start wandering around the room looking for the bodies. Just like looking behind tapestries, underneath desks and shit.
The tapestries?
Zarin,
Shh.
you're not. We can see you.
Okay, you guys keep talking. I'm looking for these bodies.
I am. What?
Here are the descriptions that I got from the other people who saw them leave. This man, Geegan, is tall, approximately 6'6" or 6'7". He is of a thin build. He was wearing a hat which covered the top part of his head and his face. He had a lot of money. He paid for a lot of people last night and a lot of drinks, although he did not drink himself. One of our dancers reported that he smelled kind of funny.
Like what?
She wasn't real specific, like maybe some sort of exotic spice or, chicory root maybe.
That's a bad sign. All right.
He did sign the ledger. He pulls out a ledger. He has it marked at the page, which is just the last page of the book. Opens it up and slides it across to you. And he paid in
Beautiful
advance.
handwriting. Paid in advance.
That's also not uncommon. Usually our sex workers get tips on the job.
Can I look at the ledger and then some of the paperwork on the desk and see if the I'm convinced that is his handwriting, and I want to confirm it with other things on the table.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you want another perception?
Yeah.
Whew, not in that one. 9.
You don't see any, but it's got to be around somewhere. Maybe
Yeah.
if you wait a few minutes, something will pop up.
Yep.
So you don't know, Gigan would have left with them and with Padro,
That's right.
and you don't know, you have no idea where they were headed.
No, I do not.
Do they wear any unique jewelry or anything like that?
I don't know. None of my other people said anything about any jewelry.
What about the dancers? The people we're looking for.
Oh. Gaius and Flavia?
You mean Flavia? I yell way too loud.
He kind of startles and looks at you.
Zerwin, calm down.
Yes, Gaius and Flavia. Gaius, they both have some piercings. They don't wear a lot of gaudy jewelry. We discourage that sort of thing.
Any kind of piercings that are fairly unique that not a lot of people have?
Not in this business, no.
Do you have multiple points of egress? Could that maybe give us a hint about which direction they were heading?
Egress from the building? They exited through the front door.
That's a shame. All right.
The only other person, Brent, at the front, was working last night also. I called him in today. You feel free. I've already asked him. He doesn't seem to have any other information, but feel free to talk to him as well. You could also hang out for another couple hours. There's no one's here yet, but they'll start rolling in over the next hour or whatever you need. If you need more resources or hands, you tell me. I will get them for you.
Thank you. Where's Brent?
He's the guy who saw you in.
And where are Gaius and Flavia?
That is the question, sir.
I'm sorry about him. He's the muscle.
I lean over Dirk and go, "This guy's good."
I know, man. This is hard.
All right. From Trant, right to Brant.
Brent.
I'm knocking on the walls and stuff as I leave. Listen,
Trent gives you some really funny looks.
I go like this when we leave.
He's
Listen,
not.
his approach is unorthodox, but he's genuinely quite helpful to have around.
He goes back to his paperwork. Brent, he's at the front door. He's, he kind of looks like a door. He's rectangular-ish. He's wearing a sleeveless leather vest. He's got a lot of tattoos on his arms. He grunts at you as you approach.
Hi, Brent. Trant said we could talk to you about Flavia and Gaius leaving with Gigan yesterday.
Yeah.
I know he asked you.
Brent pulls out a pad of paper, and it looks like it's like a spiral bound notebook, which isn't cheap. And he pulls out one page in particular and tears it off and hands it to you. It's a beautifully sketched portrait of 3 people.
Who are these people?
It's Flavia, Gaius, and the guy they left with.
Flavia's got a beautiful melancholy here. Is that true to form?
Make me a persuasion check, Dirk.
Okay. How do I even do this on?
Brett,
18.
Nice.
Sorry.
You see, Dirk, you catch a little, like, corner of his mouth, upward twitch of an almost smile. Yeah, got her good there.
You
You
do
guys-
this a lot. You're quite good at this. You do this from memory. This feels like it captures a very singular moment.
Yeah, yeah, you know, it was late. I like to draw.
Well, you're quite skilled.
Yeah.
How did they
Brent,
see?
where do you keep the prisoners?
Huh?
Zerwin, I'm gonna kill you.
No prisoners.
I'm just walking around jiggling door handles.
I'm sure you.
That is
talked
your
to-
MO. Yes, correct.
Motion to change the group name to Jiggle and Door Handles.
Yeah.
Seconded.
At very least, that will be the name of our jam band. When we inevitably have to start one as part of a theater troupe. We've had 2 different theater troupes, right? Already. I know you would have mentioned this to Trent, but did you happen to notice which way they went when they left?
Just down the avenue. You yeah, I mean, you know, most things are that way. He points. The avenue runs, like, the avenue that he's talking about is one of the main avenues, and it runs sort of northeast by southwest.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't have any weapons on him when he came in.
Geegan. All right.
Yeah, that's him.
And Padro, he would have given you some sort of indication if he thought that there was going to be a problem, right?
Yeah, Padro's. He's been around.
How long had Padro been employed?
Well, Padro, he's gosh, year and a half.
Okay, and he was well trusted.
Yeah, yeah. Good initiative too. He sees things coming. You know. I like him. You gotta check with the kids though. He says this actually to Dirk. You guys oughta check with the kids.
Which kids?
The well, the little shits. They hang out because sometimes people leave here and need a guide. Don't know where they're going, or it's dark and they don't recognize it anymore. Kids hang out and walk them around.
The street urchins.
Well, they live at the orphanage. He looks at you like you just said something really insensitive.
Yeah, that's very
I
insensitive.
mean, I kind of did. Sorry about that.
So there are kids.
First time in the
Is
city.
there like any
Bill,
kid in
Look at my DM
particular?
real quick. Look at my DRM real quick. Sorry, go ahead.
Is there any kid in particular that we should start with, or like a place that we should go to hang out with children?
You, the kids live at the orphanage. You can probably go.
That's nearby,
Yeah,
toward the
it's
avenue.
yeah, it's the he points. You can actually see where he's pointing. It's, a good ways down, but there is like a building that you pass that has a yard with some kids playing in it. You just assumed it was a really big family. But now in your memory, you're like, oh, that was a really big building. But it was so nice and like so well maintained. It looked like an estate.
And then last question, I think, unless anybody else has any, what time of the evening did they leave?
Uh, maybe first bell.
So does that mean 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else have any questions?
What time would you have expected them back?
Uh, dawn, give or take. Just
Sure.
after. Always got to check in. That's the rule. They know it. No one ever. No one doesn't check in. That's how we know they're missing.
And when they didn't check in, someone checked their rooms.
Uh, yeah, boss immediately put out the alarm.
Sure.
Everything kind of goes in at once when that happens. He's been sketching this whole time that you're talking, by the way.
I'm sorry, are you drawing us?
Yeah.
Can you make my chin like a little sharper than it is in real life?
He turns it around and he is not sketching Owen and he's not sketching Jana, but Dirk, Ezra, Gelidus, and Zerwin are all represented on the sheet.
Yeah,
It's quick, so it's a pretty rough sketch right now. It looks like maybe he's using it to hold his memory of what you look like for later.
Are you gonna do them? Pointing to Owen and Jenna.
Nah, see lots of people around here, lots of humans. Don't see many non-humans here. So wanna wanna remember it, you know?
Is it because we are too good looking?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
I don't either. I don't think that's right.
All right. Should we be on our way?
Yes. Let's go to an orphanage and question some children.
This is gonna be great. All right. The
I
orphanage.
can't speak with animals.
Not even there yet. All right.
Sorry.
The orphanage, and you realize now that it does just look like a wealthy estate. There's several buildings, and there's a huge like yard area, and it looks like a gardens, some sort of fancy gardens. Um, Everything is beautifully kept, but there is 40 or 50 kids running around. Um, Problem is you can't just walk in. There's a big gate that is manned by. Um, it looks like probably a retired soldier of some sort. He's gone quite gray on the muzzle and is a little overweight. He's sitting on a stool on the other side of the gate.
I grab both sides and give it a good shake. Does anything happen?
Yeah, he goes, "Stop that!" and he stands up. What's wrong with
Hey,
you?
it's a good gate. Nice gate.
Be on your way, sir.
Hi there. Pardon my friend. We are investigating the disappearance of a few people who didn't come home last night. We were told that maybe talking to the kids, they might know something, they might have seen something.
Well, they're not here. Whoever you're looking for. Only people here are the
Kids?
people who work here and the kids.
Yeah, well, that as I said, we were hoping to maybe ask some of the children. We have this sketch of what they looked like, so we could just show the picture, and if anybody recognizes them, then they could tell us. It would be very quick. We don't need to interview anyone really, or
Ezra, make me a persuasion check.
perception.
Persuasion, yes.
28.
All right. Wait
He
here.
says,
He's
"Get
really
fucked."
good looking.
All right, wait here, he says. And he goes and really takes his time walking up the path towards the main building, but comes back a little while later with a, you know, woman in her probably early 50s, um, hair gone fairly gray, wearing glasses, and a friendly expression.
Good
Ah.
sir, that is not a child.
Hi. I've heard that you want to speak to some of the children about some missing people. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please, come in. She unlocks the gate. I didn't know anyone had gone missing. What makes you think some of my children would know anything about that?
The doorman at the place of work had said that the kids tend to see everything.
Well, I can tell you that if there were children from my place of business and my school out at that time of night, they would be breaking curfew, which means they would probably be very reticent to talk about it,
You
especially
want
in
50
front of
gold?
me. Sorry?
Do you want 50 gold?
I think what my friend means to say is we would be glad to make a donation uh to the house if you could maybe look the other way in this one instance if there were any kids who were breaking curfew.
Hold on one second. She walks. So she's led you to the door of the main building, but not inside. She opens the door and comes back out with an envelope, like a thick, heavy envelope, and she says, "Donations go in here, sir."
All
So
right.
do you want one?
Please write your name on the envelope as well, and if you donate 50 gold, we'll get you on our thank you list, which means you'll receive some letters from us. And if you pledge monthly, 10 gold or more, we will. And she goes on to like name the tiers of giving. She's done this a bunch of times. Uh, and she's getting to the point where you're like donating 10,000 gold when you're like, okay, thank you. And she just, sorry, thank you. And she just waits to see how much you put in.
Um, Ezra pulls out the bag of holding and pulls out an assortment of jewels that are worth about 350 gold.
Oh, that is very kind, sir. Thank you
And
so
all
much.
of this money goes towards the children.
Yes, sir. Actually, that's why it goes in this envelope that I'm going to seal, because I don't actually get to have it.
Can I do a insight check on that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll too.
17.
She's actually telling the truth.
8.
You have no idea if she's telling the truth.
Yeah, that's fine. I provide the jewels.
I get paid a salary regardless. So,
No commission. All right.
correct. To be honest with you, I don't do this for the money. I don't think people in my position often do. However, I get to live in this very nice place, and I get to make sure that the kids here are safe, which is why I'm going to tell you that if last night, for example, hold on a second. God, why do I keep losing their names at the last minute?
Gaius Flavii Padro.
Why I'm going to tell you that if last night Cornelius and Cassia might have been out past their curfew, and she points at like the corner of the garden. There's an apple tree, and if you look closely, you can see two little faces are watching this conversation right now. If they had been out past curfew, I definitely wouldn't have seen them come in because I was sleeping. But if they'd made a habit of such things, they would know that right now I'm finding something out that they've done yet again, and they're in deep shit. So you should probably tell them something else if you want them to tell you anything. You follow what I'm saying here?
Yeah, we should rat him out.
Okay. I'm going to go back inside now. I'll be watching you through the window.
Hey, bye.
Thanks. All right. How do we feel about me talking to the kids, since, kids tend to trust people that are about their size more than they trust adults?
What if I just talked into their brains to give them secret information?
Well, but then they can't talk back to you that way.
I can tell them to give hand signals because they're being watched and surveilled.
Does this constitute child abuse?
Do we? No.
I worry about you
Telepathy is
frightening
not a
them.
crime. That is offensive.
I worry about you frightening them, but I will say that
Okay, that is offensive as well. This is an unsafe environment.
I know I that was said without judgment. No judgment during brainstorming.
We
That's
also
rule
we
number
also
one.
we don't know the laws here. Telepathy very well could be illegal.
He's very pointy.
Well, should I try it and see?
Let's keep that as a secondary plan.
We're wasting our time here anyway. Trant has him back at his house. I am 100% certain.
Really? How do you know that?
I could tell. He was
That
really
wasn't the impression I got.
He was really hamming it up in there.
No, he seemed genuinely upset that he's lost two. I mean, he described them as being excellent workers, new but very skilled, in demand.
You want to
I think he's
bet
pretty upset about it.
You want to bet 350 gold?
I know better than to bet with you, given your personal history, my friend.
That sounds like someone who knows they're going to lose a bet.
I'm worried that you might be.
I'm tempted. But yeah, it's not good for the leadership to be, mixing finances that way. I wouldn't want you to have to pay me, with me being your boss and all. So anyway, Ezra turns and walks over to the children.
You walk over to the apple tree?
Yeah.
You hear like, oh shit, he's coming! And there's like some rustling, and then like an apple drops out, an unripe apple that they've like kicked out and lands on the ground. But then the tree goes still.
Hi there. Were there only the two kids that I saw up there?
You're looking at an apple tree.
Hi there. I was hoping to speak with Cornelius, and could you give me the second name one more time, Bill?
Yeah, Cassia.
And Cassia. If you want, I could climb up into the tree and talk to you, or if you don't mind coming down. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions.
You see the face of an 11-year-old girl come around the trunk. What do you want?
So I know that you are not supposed to be out after a certain time.
And that's why we don't go out after a certain time.
Yeah, and I know you never would. So we're gonna talk about this all in hypotheticals, acknowledging that you never would go out later than you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So hypothetically, if you ever did go out after curfew, if you happen to maybe hypothetically see people matching this description, and Ezra shows the picture, you
A hand
maybe
reaches down for the picture.
Please be careful. It's the only one we have, and Ezra hands it up.
Snatches it out of your hand. Then it like holds it around the other side of the trunk, and then you see a 10-year-old boy who looks a lot like the girl look at it, and he goes, "Holy shit, it's them!" And the girl goes, "Ugh," and he hands the picture back to you. We might have seen him.
Uh, if I could ensure that you wouldn't get in trouble for breaking curfew, could you tell me what you saw, where they might have gone?
Maybe.
You you need me to sweeten the pot a little bit.
What do you got, big fella?
What's your favorite food?
The girl looks like she's gonna think about it for a second, but then
I yelled nachos.
the boy's head comes around the trunk, goes, "Meat pies."
Ezra takes out a trail ration and theatrically casts prestidigitation on it to make it taste exactly like meat pies. He breaks it in half, so the first half he
Wait,
does
not
that.
doesn't look like it. It just tastes like it.
It just tastes like it. But
So
here,
you're handing him
give
some
this
like
a
hard
try.
rations.
Give this a try. Just take a tiny bite and see what you think.
The girl wrinkles up her nose. This smells like armpits.
I think maybe it smells and tastes like it. Let me double check.
The boy's like, "Yeah," and he takes a bite of it. He's like, "This is a meat pie in disguise." Um, he jumps out of the tree and like he like waves it around. And he's like, "I got a meat pie. I got a meat pie that looks like a. What the hell is this? It's a meat pie." The girl tastes it too. She's like, "All right, this is pretty good, magic person. All right, yeah, we saw him last night."
You
Can you
saw
tell
him.
me exactly what you saw?
We saw them leaving. Um, do you know why we hang out around there?
Around there being the apple tree or around, oh, by this place of business?
Yeah, the barking kitty.
I would guess that, I mean, the food's good. It seems like there's a lot of money there. Maybe you're able to get some money being nearby to that place.
Yeah. Tell you what. You give me 2 gold, and I'll take you to the spot. The boy says, 2 gold for each of us. She says, 2 gold for each of us.
I'll do better. I'll give you each 5 gold.
5? He's going to give us 5 gold? And the meat pie stick, the boy says.
Again, provided you can tell us everything that you know, take us to exactly the spot that you saw them, tell us everything that you saw. I would be glad to give each of you 5 gold.
Okay, here's what happened. Um, the girl describes the foursome walking out the front doors. They know Padro because he's been working there a while, and he's usually very generous to them. He's always slipping them little coppers and things. So they were like, "Oh, it's Padro. Even though no one asked us, let's just follow him and see if he'll give us some." Because it's late, they had to go home anyway. So they followed him for a while until they pulled in, like turned into a side alley, and walked to the end of that alley. As they approached the end of that alley, there was, according to them, a loud noise, and then some crazy like mist thing rose out of the ground, and two of so they don't know the names of Gaius and Flavia, but they were like the 2 people who work there dropped, and Padre started coughing really bad. And then these 4 guys came out from these doorways, and there was a fight. And Padre killed one of them and wounded another one real bad, but then he collapsed from the coughing and the smoke. And then they beat him up real bad, and then they dragged away the bodies. And they draw a
All
little
3 of
map.
them?
Yeah, and they draw you a map of exactly where it took place.
Thank you. And Ezra will give each of them an additional 3 gold.
Their eyes get real big. Yeah. What's your name, buddy?
Uh, my name's Ezra. Those are my friends over there. You guys take care of yourselves. Hey, be real careful when you're going out after curfew. I don't want to see you guys getting in any trouble for that. Despite the,
We never
it's a
get
risk
caught.
worth taking at times, but just be careful. Take care of yourselves.
Well,
Stick together.
God, do you know how much meat pies we can buy with this? The boy says to the girl. She's like, God, you always think about your stomach. Um, they start like bickering as they walk away, like having completely forgotten about you.
Yeah. Uh, oh, before you go, can I have the sketch back? It's the only one we have.
Huh? Oh, right, yeah. Here you
Drawing.
go.
Thank you.
It's real pretty though. Did Brett do
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, he's incredibly talented, right?
Yeah, Brent's the best.
All right. Ezra goes back to the group. Okay. Look at this sketch. Not that one. Look at this map.
Look at this map.
Yep. Look at
Isn't
this
it
photo
great?
map. Every time I do it makes me laugh. We're gonna go here, to this spot on the map. Here's what they said they saw. The group went down this alley. There was some sort of explosion. Gas came out of the ground. And then four people came out of four doorways. Um, Flavia and Gaius fell to the ground. Padro killed one of the figures that came out into the fog. He was coughing really bad. He injured another one really badly, and then he collapsed. They beat him up and then dragged all of the bodies away.
Are you serious, Ezra?
That's what the kid said.
They are obviously in cahoots.
And I trust
Trent,
them about 16 gold worth.
this is a waste of time.
Don't worry, it's coming out of your discretionary fund.
I
He has
wish
a
you'd take.
discretionary fund.
Yeah, it would
Uh,
be 350 gold higher if Ezra wasn't such a wuss.
All right.
anyway, should we move along? You guys want to hang out at an orphanage some more, or
I mean, is anybody cool here?
is anybody what?
Cool.
I mean, listen, I'm old enough to know that children are always cooler than I am.
Do they have beer here?
I don't think so.
This place stinks. Let's go.
All right. Onward. Are you
Ezra gives
going?
a wave to the window, and then we skedaddle.
Are you going to go to the place marked on the little map that they made you?
I'd like to.
Okay. It's a ways from here. You have to walk. You walk sort of across the top of the hill, and then there's some really tight little alleyways, not far from the city walls, and that's where the map takes you. And indeed, you see one long alleyway. Oh, you want me to show you where it is? I'll show you where it is.
Sure.
Can you see my marker?
I don't.
You see, go south of the castle.
South. Oh, okay, south. Okay, yeah, I was looking in the wrong spot. Just show me one more time. Yep, cool.
Um, yeah. Okay. This does look like the alley described.
All right.
It is,
As
it's none of the buildings here are in disrepair. This is a lower income area of the upper income part of the city. So it is like a lot of tight apartments. They're all fairly nice, but then the actual little alleyway that she's talking about is a space where there are no windows. There are some doorways. The doors are all closed, and they look like they're not open very often. So these are probably like emergency exits to the apartment buildings.
Does the ground look especially dirty, wet? Is there any blood?
Do an investigation check. Would anybody like to give anybody else the help action for this?
Jana,
I'll
can you
give
look on the ground here and see if there's any blood?
I'll give somebody else the help action if somebody else wants to look.
I was considering giving myself or giving Jana the help action. So if you want to do another one, Jana. That's a lot better than the first one.
My good one was 25.
Okay. You find several things with a 25. First of all, you find broken shards of glass that looks like it was part of some sort of flask. Probably something that held poisonous gas that was smashed on the ground. You also find some blood. With a 25, I'm going to let you see that it's clear that 2 bleeding bodies were dropped right here. And there is a little bit of a blood trail leading away. If only you had someone who was good at tracking blood trails.
Dirk, do you think you could track this?
I'm a little busy, but yeah.
I mean, if you can't, I can turn into a dog and sniff it out.
Look, I could just summon a dog or talk to some dogs, but I'll track it. It's fine. I might do that.
Here, right here. And Ezra points to give him the help action. Take your
hold
time, though.
Well, I'm. Do I push a button to track?
You probably
I
have
think
to
it's
make a
the
roll.
survival.
Yeah, survival roll.
Hold on. Boom. 26.
Okay, yeah, you can follow this. It's pretty easy. It's clear that 2 bloody bodies were dragged here. And it looks like a third person was limping and bleeding as well.
All right, so that's one bloody person. It's right there. You guys can see it. It's easy. And there's that. That one was really bleeding. There was someone else over here walking weird. They went that way, and then that way. I think they went that way.
If you follow the tracks for a little ways, eventually you will come to a sewer grate.
Oh,
Great, a
great.
sewer. He knows what's up, that's Zerwin.
They went down there.
Oh, in the stream I pointed to Jana, but I swear on Discord I pointed at Zerwin. Okay. Ezra spits on his hands, rubs them together, leans down, and tries to lift up the grate using all of his strength.
What's your strength? I'm making a strength roll.
Great. It's very good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you got it. Natural 20.
Really?
21. 21.
Wow.
Yes, really.
The
I
sorcerer
wouldn't lie to
just
you.
rolled a nat. Yes, you would. Sorcerer just rolled a nat 20 on his strength roll. Ezra easily
Muscles rippling.
flips the grate and manages to yank it in such a way that it slides right out of its casing. And as soon as you do that, you see
Holy shit.
Break that in around here.
You see 2 pairs of boots. They are attached to feet, which are probably attached to legs and maybe even bodies at the other end. It's too dark to see.
Just the one pair of feet, though? Or
Are they
how
upside
many
down?
feet?
What are we talking about?
Ezra, who pulled the grate off, can now see that stuffed into the sewer are 2 pairs of boots, which are probably have feet in them. You can see legs.
Oh,
It's in
and
there,
there's
Ezra.
the image.
Well, it looks like maybe 2 bodies were stashed in here upside down. I see the
Wait.
feet.
You're really strong. Pull them out.
It's not
Well,
really straight down. It's kind of like a slight decline.
are there still no windows around? Like there's no people around?
You don't see any people.
Do we feel like now is the time that we want to drag potentially 2 bodies out of the sewer? And if so, how are we going to get them back to Ophelia?
Can we see from the boots? Are they hired muscle or are they the 2 pretty people?
These don't look like pretty people boots to you. I'll give you that one for free.
All right.
What?
Um,
Pull them out?
Ezra, you think there's enough? Is there enough room to sort of get in there, or they were just like wedged in?
They're just sort of like the sewer goes in and it drops a little bit, but then it goes sort of sideways. So like you could probably crawl down in there, Ezra. It doesn't look like something you really want to do because, crawling on top of a couple of corpses isn't your idea of a great day, but you'd fit.
Why don't we just pull them out of the sewer?
My concern again is that somebody would see us and fetch the town guard, and then we'd have some explaining to do.
Are we still in the pretty narrow alley? Is this still technically in the alley?
Yeah, this alley dead ends, and you are at the end of the alley.
Oh, let's just create a human wall here, or a humanoid wall.
I don't have that spell.
I cast humanoid wall.
All right, we start working on pulling him out. Ezra will help, but he's probably used up all of his good rolls for tonight.
I'll pull them out. You guys, because if I'm standing there being all dragonborn, people are gonna look anyways.
Okay.
So you make a wall, and I'll pull them out.
Jana, why don't you run down to the end of the alley and be lookout?
The first body you pull out, Dirk, is wearing a mask, and it has his throat was opened by some sort of blade. It's bled out to the appropriate amount of when someone has their major arteries sliced on their throat.
Okay.
The face was never exposed. You could pull the mask off now if you wanted, but this person is dead. There's a lot of blood on them. You pull this was probably the biggest part of the blood trail. It looks like someone tried to clean up the blood trail a little bit, but didn't take a lot of time to do it, which is why it was so easy for you to track. As you are pulling the second body out, you do want to pull the other body out, Derek, correct?
Yeah.
As you're moving the second body, you notice that it's breathing.
This one's only mostly dead.
It's very shallow breathing.
Owen,
Yes.
fix him. Her, them, this one.
It's a man. It's a pretty large man, and he has wounds on. He's been badly beaten.
Cool.
His side of his head is a little staved in. It looks, but to someone who wasn't accustomed to examining bodies in the dark, perhaps he'd appear dead.
I check him for demon crabs.
Nope, he is not a demon.
Thank God he wasn't looking in my direction.
Do you have demon crabs?
If they're not demons,
that
I don't
he
know what they
has
are.
crabs. You know that he has that.
I'll dump 20 points of healing into him.
Okay. the first thing he does is like his head reforms, and then his eyes like flutter, and then he goes. He sits up and starts like retching, and there's some like he expels some sort of poison from his lungs as the other party are healing.
Gross.
And then he vomits.
Gross.
Yeah, it's a big whole mess. There's like some black goop. There's some vomit. There's some stuff he coughed up.
He doesn't get it on me, does he?
Yeah. Oh, he absolutely gets it on you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then
Wake
he
up. Wait.
then he lays back down, and it's like, what the fuck? Where am I? Where am I? Who are you? He starts trying to like move, and like he's still really disoriented, and he looks like he's, trying to like get himself in a defensive position to fight you off.
No. You're
No, we're
safe.
friends.
You're
My
safe.
name is Ezra.
You're in the wall.
I'm in the wall. Go ahead, Dirk.
You're safe. You're safe. You're fine. My name is Steve. I point to Owen. This is Steve. You're good. Just take a moment, breathe. We pulled you out of the sewer. Everything's fine. We got a wall of people. We just found you here. What's your name?
Pondo.
Pondo. That sounds close. Pondo.
Pound.
Is your name maybe Padro?
Padro. Yeah. Do you know me?
I heard about you once.
My head really hurts.
Yeah, your head really hurts. Look, that's going to take a little while to get better.
Give me water.
Yeah, I give him some water.
Did I die? I feel like I died.
Almost.
Mostly.
Yeah. You came pretty close, but don't worry.
This is what it looks like if you make your death saves, but no one comes to help you.
This is Steve over here. He helped you out. He gave you some real good loving, and we got you out of that sewer there. Do you have any idea how you ended up in the sewer?
Gaius and Flavia. His eyes light up.
Yeah. Do you know this guy over here? I point to the masked person with the throat.
Yeah. I'm the one who cut his fucking throat, you piece of shit. And he like weakly tries to like spit at the guy.
Yeah. No, he's all the way dead.
Yeah, he's dead. You did a good job. Well done. Did a good job.
How about the other one? I think I killed the other one too. I got him right in the gut.
You might have. I look at the sewer. Is there any more?
No.
I got nothing over here. But look, that doesn't mean that you didn't get him. Doesn't mean you didn't get him. You might have got him.
The guy, the girl, the guy,
Geegan, Ezra
yes,
calls over.
The Geegan guy. He hired us. He said we were going to one of the children's estates. He was leading us roughly towards the castle, which is near all of his children's estates are nearby. And then there was a fog or something, and I couldn't breathe. And then there was people behind me, and I was fighting. And I tried to. Gaius and Flavia were down. Whatever it was, it took them out right away. And then I got the hammer. The hammer. It was a Hooper's hammer. You know, the kind that makes barrels.
Okay. Yeah.
Hammer.
That's the last thing I saw was the hammer, which would make sense because it looks like the thing that put him out hit him in right here.
Yikes!
And so you got hit with a hammer.
Yeah, that's the last thing I saw was the hammer. Fucking lucky shot.
Do you know who this guy is? And I point to the guy in the mask that you killed. Do you know who it is, or is this just a guy you killed?
It's a guy that attacked me and was trying to kill me.
No judgment whatsoever. I'm just going to pull his mask off right now. And I pull his mask off.
Never seen him before.
Have I ever seen him before?
No.
Are you asking Padro?
I'm asking Bill, but yeah, I also asked Padro.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Well, should we burn him alive? Well, dead, but burn him whole. Burn
No.
him. Burn him.
No. No, absolutely not. Ophelia. Trant and then Ophelia need to see who this is. They'll figure it out one way or another. He can't be a nobody.
I mean, he could be a nobody. He could be nothing at all if we burned him. That's fine.
Which is way harder than you think, by the way.
Yeah. Super challenging. Takes a while.
I mean, bodies are mostly water. That makes sense.
Well, we dehydrate them first. Like beef jerky. It's fine.
Does beef jerky burn well? I've never actually tried.
It burns really well. It goes right up. So okay. So I think what we learned here is that you killed that guy.
There's something else. It was the way that guy smelled, the Geegan guy.
Like,
kind of earthy.
Was it like chicory?
I don't know. Maybe like some sort of root. Maybe
like tea tree oil kind of thing.
Definitely earthy.
Earthy.
And also, the guy with the hammer smelled like hops.
So
we should find that guy.
Yeah, you should definitely find that guy. And when you do, I have to have a few words with him.
Which ones? Yeah, no, this sounds good. So you think we should take this body to Trent there?
It might be best to stash it in the sewer until tonight, and then have them send a crew to come pick it up, or stash it now and we send a runner to go let them know that it's here and they can figure out how to get it out of here.
Counterpoint, put it in the bag of holding.
That's where we keep our jewels.
It's where you keep
Does
your clean
everything
underwear.
There, you put one body in a bag of holding and all of a sudden everything is like not jewelry anymore?
Just leave me a dagger. I'll stay here with the body. And maybe some water. And then send someone after me from our organization. I'll be fine.
What's your organization again?
I work, well, I am hired by Trant. I've been there for a year and a half now. I'm technically part of the mercenary guild, but I've been thinking about leaving and working for Trant full time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So should we just go to Trant and send someone your way? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or tell Brent, the guy at the door.
How far away from Brent are we right now?
You're a ways.
But so, and the only way the people could have left is back out the way we came or through one of the emergency doors.
Yeah, the fight took place further towards the entrance. They dragged him down here by the dead end to stuff the bodies, and then they went back out.
So it's somebody that knew this alleyway.
They came.
Was Geegan? So Geegan was with you down here?
I don't remember him after the cloud.
But do you remember him going down, or did he stay up?
He stayed up. That's right. He was in the front. It didn't have any effect on him at all.
Geegan?
Yeah.
It's good to know.
I think we should go look in those doors that they came out of.
So how long have Trant and Geegan been in cahoots?
Trant?
Zerwin's convinced that Trant's involved, but That's not the impression that the rest of us got.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that?
You don't want to know why theories are a thing for Zerwin.
Uh,
I lean over to Janice. Say, "Is your necklace glowing?"
Uh, I think, can we start opening the doors that they came out of?
you don't know which doors they came out of. This isn't
So
where the
there's
attack happened. The attack happened up at the midpoint of the alleyway.
so Padro, could you point out? We heard that maybe they came out of like 3 or 4 doorways. Could you point them out?
Yeah, he points down to where you found the broken glass. There's 4 doorways there.
And
They're
they came out
all
of all 4.
yes,
Okay,
2 on each side of me. One,
cool.
2 in front, 2 behind, and 2 in left, 2 in the right.
All right, Ezra leaves the human wall and goes and starts opening the doors.
You can't open the doors; they're all locked.
Jana, how do you feel about unlocking some doors? Hey, but these would be the kind of doors that we would want to check for some traps first.
Yeah. Should we send someone for Trent before we do this? Okay. I'll start checking for traps.
I can go tell Trant if you want. I'll go do it. Ezra goes to
Uh,
tell Trant. I'll be right back. Give me 10 minutes.
No, we don't.
Split the party. What's the worst that could happen?
That doesn't seem like a good idea. Why don't we all stay together and
Ezra
I'll
Dash, roll
see
your
the doors
character.
first.
All right.
Sorry, I'm
Get
rolling
ready
sleight of
for a
hand.
no monk.
Well, checking for traps is investigation, right?
Investigation.
Investigation. We almost never do this.
It's amazing and refreshing, isn't
13?
it? You don't find any traps on the first door.
Does
I
it look
didn't
like it
find any
opens
on.
out or in?
It looks like it opens out.
I didn't find any traps, but maybe you guys should back up just in case.
Ezra puts his face right next to the lock.
I don't feel super confident on this.
I will stay with Jana so that she gets extra saving throws.
Ezra backs up to the human wall.
All right, so I'm gonna unlock it.
Okay.
Or try to unlock it. That one's sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
16.
Yeah, you manage to pick the lock fairly easily,
Okay.
and the door pops open. It's a stairwell that looks like it leads up the back end of the apartments.
Okay. Can I investigate for tracks on the stairs or
No. It's not like
Okay.
dusty or anything, and looks like people come here sometimes.
Jana, what do you see?
A staircase up to the backs of the apartments. It looks somewhat used. I can't see any traces of someone coming through.
Should we open all 4 doors and then decide which one to pursue?
They could have gone back out the alley. Like,
This
there's
is
no reason for them to go back inside.
I mean, I would name reason 1. It's a lot easier to hide bodies inside, living bodies, than it is to carry them off down a main avenue, even at 2 a.m. If you don't want to be spotted, you keep them in the alley where there's no windows.
Okay.
But I'm just a simple country sorcerer.
So let's
Yeah,
open them up.
All right. I'll go check the next one for traps.
All right, let's save you the hassle of doing this all these times because none of the doors are trapped. All of them are locked. With enough time, you can pick all of them, and they're all the same. They all go to stairs that go up the back ends of apartment buildings.
Um, Ezra would like to cast Detect Magic. Do I get a sense of any residual magic out here in the alleyway?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know why you would like if something happened 10 hours ago, 12 hours ago. I don't know why you would have residual magic there, supposing something did happen, right? Unless it was an ongoing enchantment or illusion.
Mm-hmm. What about going into the entryways to each of the sets of apartments? Do I feel any little tinglings?
I want everybody make me a perception check.
$14.
Owen rolled pretty well.
Nat 20.
All right,
17.
Owen.
That one.
It's not necessarily what you see; it's what you don't see. There's no blood trails going up any of these stairs. And if Padro is not lying to you, and Dirk wasn't lying to you, he badly wounded at least one other person. Dirk found a blood trail that went down here, but you didn't look for one going the other direction. So maybe they went out, you can try to follow a blood trail going the opposite direction.
Do we hear anything in any of the apartments? Does it all sound?
Yeah, I
We
mean,
don't hear like.
it's the middle of the afternoon. Most people aren't home, but there are some, apartment building noises.
Can I try to track the limping person the other direction?
Yes.
15.
You struggle a little bit harder to pick this up because you get back to the spot where the attack was, where all that blood was sort of splashed around and then sort of hastily covered. And it looks like probably it was bandaged because you only get a teeny tiny drip every once in a while. But you see that someone did limp back the direction to the mouth of the alley. As you get to the mouth of the alley, it gets to a certain spot and then completely disappears, as do the footprints that were sort of along with that limp.
Does it seem sort of natural that it would disappear because I'm at the mouth of the alley and there's just traffic and life there?
Maybe.
Are there doors on either side of us right now?
Yeah, there's doors everywhere, but also, it shouldn't. It should peter out, right? If they staunch the blood.
The way that's unusual.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, guys. The trail just stops here. Just total stops, like hard stops.
If it helps, you're sort of like on the edge of the avenue where it stops.
Right. Very cold. But clearly whoever went in with those bodies also left this direction. And kind of just, I wonder if they got like a coach, because the trail is gone. Just gone from here. Looks to me like they might have gotten a coach.
Okay.
Like a piggyback.
We know that one of them smelled of hops. We know that one of them was wielding a hooper's hammer. Looking around, do we see any breweries nearby? They wouldn't have needed a coach if it was that close. Come on, Ezra, get your act together.
Conveniently, there is a brewery next door. No, there isn't. No. This isn't the place where the breweries would be, though. They take up room. they're smelly.
We're a long way from the market, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you're still in the inner city. You are close to one of the gates to the outer city.
Yes.
You see
Why don't
that right
we?
there?
Why,
Right there, and sort of near you, is one of the gates to the outer city.
Yep, I see it.
why don't we run back and tell
Bring
Tran?
Padro back.
Tell Tran to go get Padro.
Okay. I don't need to make you role play all that. You can do so, and he will. What did you find?
We found
Padro. He's alive. He's
mostly dead.
yeah,
Like you didn't know.
he's guarding a body, the body of one of the people who assailed him, and we tell him the whole story of the assault and how it happened, and
Where were they going? They were going to.
they'd been told they were going to one of the, did he say children's houses? Is that what he called it?
At the children's estates.
Children's estates, and they were brought pretty close to the castle.
Well,
Here, it's on this
then.
map.
Well, then it's either uh, Manius, Agrippina, or Babia. He only has 3 kids.
I'm sorry. That person's name is Babia Fabia.
Fabius Fabii. Or is it Claudii?
Manly Eye.
Manly Eye.
Hmm.
Fabius Manly Eye. That's also funny. There's a big spider in my room, guys. It's going to be a distraction.
Right. Well, which one is
Sorry,
it?
what was the third name?
Uh, Babia.
Maybe Agrippina or
Manius.
Mania.
We don't know which.
Oh, that's what you meant by children's estate. I thought it was another way of saying orphanage, and I was a little concerned.
You should go find out where they were going.
How would we do that?
I don't know.
You help us retrieve the body of the assassin and maybe help us see if
Yeah, let's
there's
ask the
any.
assassin's body.
I'll get the bodies back here.
It
I'll
might
get them
not be
back
able
here
to talk
right
very
now.
well because of the slashed throat.
You want to talk to a corpse?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Oh, and the corpse will talk back to you.
Yeah, it's a magic thing.
All right. Sure. He arranges for the corpse to be brought back, as well as Padro, who is immediately put to bed. Also, people are starting to arrive for work now, so there's various musicians, dancers, bartenders, barmaids, and sex workers, all sort of slowly filtering in. He puts the corpse in a back storage room and allows you to go see it.
I grab a drink on the way from the
I'd
bar.
like to take a moment to investigate, to see if there's anything that would tell us anything. Like check the pockets and the clothes and.
Yeah, this guy has in his pockets precious. Um, he's got several blades. These are obviously good for hurting people with, but also these look like they are blades that are used for um, God, what is the name of that thing? There is a blade that is used for barrels. Basically, it's like a really thin axe with a long curved blade. Yeah, he's also some sort of barrel maker or hooper. He also has a tattoo on the webbing between his thumb and his forefinger. You can't. It's like some sort of weird symbol that you've never seen before. And
It's not one of the symbols of the mushroom demons.
it's not. And he smells a lot like sour grapes.
You're not going to give us a description of that tattoo?
It's a weird, strange symbol that you've never seen before. Um, you don't. You've. Yeah. It's kind of like a weird series of intersecting lines that is about, 1 inch by 1 inch. So it takes up most of the webbing of his thumb and forefinger.
Somebody draw that.
You can sketch it.
Grant, is there a like a brewery or an ale, like a place where they make ale and wine nearby or in that area?
They're both outside the. They're both in the outer city. There are two
Ah.
massive vineyards, and there's only one brewery.
Who owns them?
Various families. They're each owned independently. They'll be.
Where do people buy barrels around here? Would the
Depends.
wineries make their own?
Yeah, the each of the wineries will have hoopers employed and barrel makers employed. I think the brewery is small enough that it buys them from the wineries. Almost positive on that one. You can't really repurpose like fish barrels to age wine in, right? So the wineries make their own, but you can repurpose wine barrels to age beer in. What else did you find? Anything interesting?
So they used a flask that had some sort of poison in it that turned into a gas when they threw it onto the ground.
Poisons aren't really my thing.
I mean, if I'm gonna drink something, I prefer it be alcoholic rather than poisonous myself. So same. What else do we find, folks? None of you are dealing with horrifying spider infestations right now like I am. Haley, there's a spider in here. Somewhere on that curtain.
Save him.
No.
Save him.
No, I just
Haley.
want you to know so that you can be scared too.
We were informed that Gagan was unaffected by the poison.
Oh yeah. And Padre said he smelled bad too.
Yeah.
Not that Padre smelled bad, but that
Gagan.
It smelled like the earth.
What about the dead guy? What'd you find out
The
about him?
whole earth. What about the dead guy?
He looks like a hooper of some sort.
Did you talk to him? What'd you find out?
No, we're going to do that. We're just talking to you first.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know what he says. I'm interested.
Yeah, no, me too.
Are you
Can
guys
we
gonna
go
go past Speak with Dead?
Yeah.
Who's got that spell?
Gelidus, I think.
Yep, I still got it.
Just remember, you have to be careful about asking questions.
Yeah, we don't want to waste any questions.
This is
Like if you say what the hell, that counts as a question. So don't ask any questions.
This is the second corpse you've spoken to who has a real bad gaping throat wound.
Oh,
But this one doesn't have a missing half his face, though. So, yeah. You're going to cast Speak with Dead?
Yep, I'll throw it out there.
Okay. The corpse opens its eyes and starts wheezing at you.
Who sent you to kill that guy?
I work for Gagan.
Why did he want to kill Padro?
To get the sex workers.
Where can we find Gagan?
He looks like he's kind of struggling. He's compelled to answer the question, but he doesn't really know. Um, maybe with the barrels that he's going to be transporting.
Maybe with the barrels.
What does he want to do with the sex workers?
He's framing Manius. And then he collapses back.
There was only 4.
You only get 4, right? Or you get
5.
5? All right. You get 1 more.
He said he's framing Manius. Follow-up questions are available to anyone. Does your throat hurt?
So much. And he lays back down.
That's good. I missed the first couple. Can someone fill me in?
Spiders.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's dead.
He works for Gagan. Gagan may be found near the barrels that he's shipping. He's framing Manius. That's why he's after the sex workers.
And his throat really hurt. That's still only 4 questions.
No, he had another one.
He asked why he tried to kill Padra, and it was to get the sex workers.
Okay, I would have had a follow-up question if I would have asked. Did we
I don't
ask
care. I don't.
who
It's
Geegan's
over.
working for?
It's over now.
Would have asked who Geegan's working for, but all right.
This guy wouldn't have known.
Probably not,
He's
but
a foot
there's
soldier.
at least we would know that he didn't know then.
Also, I was worried about whether or not his throat hurt.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, I'm a little worried about that too.
See?
All right, so we're gonna go to the brewery next.
Well, we should talk to Trant.
BRB.
All right, well, we'll go talk to Trant. Do you think Trant knows where the barrels that Geegan is transporting are? Maybe it's at the brewery.
Wonder if Trent knows who Kagan is.
You could ask him.
Let's go ask him.
Okay, let's go ask him.
You walk back into his office, and he's just dismissing a young man. He looks up and you come in. Shut the door. What'd you find out?
Please. Just talking about Kagan. Hey, do you know about Kagan? Do you know who Kagan is? You know who that is?
Gagan?
Geegan.
What I said.
Geegan.
Who am I talking about?
I mean, no, not. Again, I told you everything I know about him.
Okay, but like, where are the barrels? Like, where does
What
Geegan
barrels?
sit? The barrels that does Geegan ship or work in a vineyard or like, look, work with me here on the close.
I thought you guys were gonna go find that out.
We are finding that out. We're just trying to ask you.
Okay, what's the question? Do I know where Geegan keeps his barrels? I didn't fucking know Geegan had barrels until 30 seconds ago when you mentioned barrels in the same sentence as Geegan.
So no is your answer.
Correct.
All right, that's all I needed to know. Jeez, you make things really difficult sometimes, Tran. Honestly, you could make this way easier for yourself and everybody else.
Why
Do
we're
you
Teamwork.
often
asking
tell
Trent.
yourself that everyone around you makes things difficult?
Yes, 100%. What are we talking
That
about here?
tracks.
This is that thing where like if you move through your day and you run into one asshole, he's probably the asshole. But if you move through your day and you run into assholes all the time, you're the asshole.
That's not true at all.
All right. Sorry, Trent. I went to deal with a problem for 30 seconds and suddenly you're the bad guy. I'm really sorry about this.
I didn't.
We're
No, stop making this more of a thing. I asked him a question. He said no. He doesn't know where it is. This is fine. I don't understand
we're,
why.
we're gonna go case the places that make soft alcohol.
Okay. What else did you find out? Anything?
His throat really hurt.
Yeah, pretty bad actually.
He looks disappointed. Okay. Well,
We have a system.
did you find out which estate they're going to?
They were trying to frame Manius.
Manius?
Manius.
Well, that's great. Then you can go inspect every barrel on Manius's property.
Yeah, it sounds
One
like
of them
a
is going to have some dead people in it. Those are my dead people. Then you can try
yeah,
to, right?
yeah. I mean, we actually don't know that they're dead. It's suspicious that you know they're dead. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
that's a feather in Zerwin's cap right there. Um, yeah, thanks for leading us along and giving us that narrative clue. Yeah, we're gonna go to Manius's estate and we're gonna check all of his barrels. We're gonna say
Zerwin
that we're
is on the
do
way.
we if only we had some sort of seven-pronged fork that might make us look like city inspectors or something.
That was weird. That was an old school callback to something that was totally different than this, but I like it.
I looked in my pockets. Do I still have it?
It
Nah.
probably ended up back in your pockets, even though you traded me that fork.
Nope, you don't have that fork right now, Geldis. You don't know where it is.
Not meant to be.
Yeah, we could go pose as city inspectors and inspect the barrels in Manius's estate. See, it should be pretty clear. If they're in a basement, it'll be clear which ones have been added recently. They'll be the ones that don't have dust all over them. Quick and easy. No complications. What could go wrong? Could you point us in the direction of Manius's estate?
Yeah, he describes. Hold on. Manius's estate is just outside the city walls, near the castle. It's sort of it's an oddly shaped piece of property. It's even though it's the closest of the three children's estate to the castle, it is in its own way the most isolated. You have to really sort of weave around to get to the entrance to the estate, and it's got high walls. Manius is known for having pretty big parties. We've sent a lot of people there over the years. Manius is he's your typical never known any hardship rich kid. He's the baby of the family.
Ezra, you're going to fit right in.
What, because I never knew any hardship or because I work with those people? Be honest.
Yes.
See, Dirk, this is where the asshole thing starts to come into play. All right, onward and upward.
Why are you playing
Little
with
dusty trail.
We're on a mission.
You're right, I worded that poorly.
All right, so you're just gonna go over to the estate?
I think so. I mean, we won't go like up to the door and knock. We'll observe it from afar and establish a battle plan at that juncture.
Okay. The estate is high walled. Here, I can show you on the map. If you look just south of the castle,
Ah, that black one? Yeah. All right.
so that is the estate. Two of the walls are the city walls and the castle walls, so they are, 40 to 60 feet high. Then there's the
Mm.
estate walls, which are half of that come off of that. You cannot see into this estate unless you were to get up on the walls. It is very private and fairly large. Um, there are front gates. It looks like it's the only way in. There are guards there, but there is also a pseudo steady stream of wagons carrying things going in and out. There's something big going on here. There's people coming in and out. There's a lot of servants around. There's a lot of merchants. There's a lot of haggling at the gate as people are like, "I'm supposed to be delivering this shit," and the guards are like, "Who are you? Where's the money? Blah blah blah." It's a bit of a clusterfuck.
Uh, the other thing we could do. Check, check. Can you hear me? The cat tore the mic out of the computer. Sorry for the delay, chat. The other thing we could do is I could just turn a bunch of us invisible and we could sneak in. That would be faster than talking to people.
I love that.
What's the end game here?
We're gonna get into that basement. We're gonna check the barrels. We find the bodies. We get the barrels with the bodies back to Ophelia and or Trant.
Wait, that we get is like a big step.
Yeah. Well, how did they get?
If we discover in the basement of this compound a barrel filled with bodies, do we just
So-
put the top back on and pretend we're stealing wine?
That is
There it is.
Again, if we manage to convince them that we are city inspectors and say, have you received any deliveries of wine and beer within the last 16 hours?
Okay, so
There's
wait, if we're
concerns that they might be tainted. And they say yes. We'll say, oh, we'll take them, we'll examine them, and we'll return them if they're clean. We could do that.
if we're convincing them we're city inspectors, why are we showing up invisible immediately in their basement?
I
Why
went
don't
back
we-
to the original plan
Oh,
because you
so
were so upset about us being invisible.
I
Why
wasn't
don't we-
so upset. I was trying to talk it out.
Okay,
Why
yeah,
don't-
I didn't like it anymore either.
Why don't I just go fuck myself?
In a barrel? For a barrel?
Why
I'm all
don't we go?
confused. Why are you upset?
Why don't we go talk to some of these merchants? Find out which brewery Geegan owns, right? Or winery. Then
Okay.
Then we can figure out. Then we could come in with some story saying, "Hey, there's a recall on the wine. There's, we found a bunch of rats. Found a whole rat in
In
the
the
cob
wine,
salad."
swimming in the wine. Yeah.
Or just, we could say something was wrong with the wine, and then possibly we could get in to see it as an inspector.
Like the
Why don't
brakes
we-
work on the wine?
Let's
Okay,
just
yeah.
try to figure out, because once we get down there, we're not going to know where to look anyway. So, but if we know what winery it came from, these guys at the gate might know if that person came through yet.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a
Let's go.
line right now of wagons
Really
trying to
good
get
idea.
into the front gate.
Do any of them look like they have barrels on them?
No barrels. They all have crates or, yeah, baskets.
All right, Zerwin, pick one. Go ask if they know Geegan.
Oh, you're gonna
Okay.
send the dwarf to do this. I love this. This is a great plan.
I'm sick of
Um,
talking. Sick of hearing my own voice.
all right. I walk up to a wagon 3 or 4 back in the line. Say, hey, what are you guys dropping off?
Fucking been sitting here forever. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I have other things to do today.
What are
Sorry,
you
buddy.
dropping off?
Oh, yeah. I got mostly glasses and dishes.
Oh, is it for the big party tonight?
Yeah, you heard about that? Something about that embassy crew from out of town coming here. I don't know. What the fuck ever. There's also napkins. Like the shit that rich people will pay for one fucking party will blow your mind.
Yeah, I hear you. What company do you work for?
Uh, he names one of the shipping companies.
Gotcha. Hey, do you know where do you know a guy named Geegan? I think he runs a winery or a brewery around here.
I don't know if I know a Geegan, but I do know the guys behind me are from the brewery.
Oh, awesome. Thanks. Well, listen, good luck. Maybe I can go up and talk to these guards and get them moving faster for you.
Fuck. Hey, better yet, if those guys give you a beer, bring me one.
That I can do. All right, so I'll go back to the people behind him.
There's two guys sitting on the thing, and it looks like they've got crates full of fancy beer mugs.
What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah. You from the guys at the gate?
Yeah, just trying to move things a little faster. Where are you coming from?
We're coming from the brewery. They ordered this last time we were here. That was like 2 hours ago.
That's Geegan's place?
No, uh, Geegan's one of the shipping managers for the other winery.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's I got that confused. Uh, what which brewery do you guys work for?
Smith and Sons.
So you don't have any beer back here?
I wish.
Oh
No,
God. do.
we delivered the beer this morning because they wanted it early.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
How many kegs did you deliver?
Uh, 6 kegs of beer.
Did they come straight from the brewery, or did you guys go through a shipping agent?
No, we brought them.
Gotcha.
I know that there was more than a dozen kegs of wine too.
Gotcha.
13, I think, total.
Do you know where how do I get to Keegan's office? Or Geegan's office?
Geegan.
Yeah.
So you gotta go. Do you know where the winery is? It's way outside of town, up on the hill. He explains that if you walk. Oh shit! Hold on.
Northwest.
Correct. If you walk northwest out of town, the hill continues. Well, it goes down on the other side of the castle, then it goes back up, and sort of like that. It's actually more west now that I'm looking at it. Like those far western buildings,
Okay.
they're part of the winery. Um, uh, Warehouse, main office. That's Geegan's.
Okay. So I'll jot that down. Um, would so how does it work? You guys would send stuff to Geegan's office if you're shipping it out of town?
No, the brewery isn't owned by the same people. We just know Geegan because we ship to the same places in town. Every
Okay.
time there's a party, we see Geegan pretty much.
Oh, so he works with the winery pretty exclusively.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, what's the word on the street about him? You know anything else about him? Weird guy? Cool guy? Likes to hang out? What?
No, he's pretty straight to business guy. I know the owners of the winery really trust him. He's been there forever. I think he's been there for like 25 years. It's funny because the guy only looks like he's 30 too. Good genetics, I guess.
All right. Well, so did you say you heard that they already brought a bunch of wine in?
Yeah, they brought wine at the same time. Well, right before us this morning. They were finishing unloading as we were starting unloading. We
What's
had
the
to,
name of that winery?
uh, it's called the Twisted Vine.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'm gonna keep working my way back. Maybe somebody's got something to drink in one of these wagons. I'll try to stop up and bring some back for you if I find any.
Good luck. It's fucking
Yeah.
drier than shit out here right now.
You too. All right. I'll head back to the team and share what I've learned. So, if we want to try to do the whole city inspector thing, we can't all go in. The city's not going to send 6 inspectors to inspect 6 kegs of wine.
Hi,
So
I'm here to fix cable.
We could do 2 or 3 of us, especially if we say we suspect that the product is tainted and we might need to haul it out of there.
We could say we come from the Twisted Vine. I think it's better if we actually say we're coming from the company.
yeah, we can do that.
We could also we could rent a wagon, put some barrels on it, put some of us in those barrels and say, "Hey, look, we've already recalled these ones. We need to get the ones that got delivered here too," and then that gets all of us in.
Yeah, I feel like I could sneak in if I needed to.
I mean, do
Especially
we
if you
all?
were invisible.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it that way.
It is pushing like 3:30 right now, and if this is going to be a dinner party, people are going to probably start rolling in a couple hours.
Yeah, and there's a long line of wagons, so probably don't want to put another wagon in line. That's going to take too long.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make some of us invisible, and then a couple of us act like city inspectors. Probably not me, but it's also going to be weird if
Do
you
you know
all in.
if there are city inspectors? Whose estate is this?
Yeah, his dad runs the city, so we're probably. And the problem is, if they are constantly ordering things from the Twisted Vine, they're going to know them too.
Let's just go with a sense of urgency. Just be like, look, this is a big fuck up. We've discovered that there's something wrong with the wine, and we really need to get in there and get it out of here.
I can't wait to see that roleplayed.
Yeah. Okay. Galatus, do you have enhance ability?
What? Enhance ability?
Yeah.
I mean, I cast guidance. That'll give everybody or the people that I cast on an extra D4 and a skill check.
Yeah.
You still have augury?
Do you want to cast guidance on me and we're gonna bum rush through this?
This is my most excited face.
We're gonna have we'll have everybody go up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can cast guidance on you. I have to touch you though. Is that okay?
Yeah. In fact, I would prefer that you did, even if it didn't require it. All right. Okay. We're gonna make a
Welcome to
little bit of a
Totally
scene.
Normal Gaming, the most homoerotic gaming of all the gaming.
We're gonna make a little bit of a scene. We're gonna rush right to the front. We're gonna say it's a big deal. We need to move fast. Brought all this muscle to pick up whatever is not okay. Here we go. Ezra starts walking up toward the front of the line, like really drawing attention.
Hercules, you so strong. Okay, You start walking past all the wagons. Uh, People are giving you a couple dirty looks, but you get up and there's a bunch of
Yeah.
guards currently, like estate guards, arguing with a guy who's like, "Do you want the fucking bread or not? Because I will turn around and you can have no fucking bread. Because I brought the fucking bread, but I'm not leaving the fucking bread unless you pay me for the fucking bread. So do you want it or not?"
Hey, excuse me here. Big emergency. Hey, pardon me. Okay. Hey, I'm walking here. Okay. Hey, me and my group here. We're from the Twisted Vine. Here's the deal. There's a big emergency. I know that we had 13 kegs of wine, 13 barrels of wine delivered here for this party, delivered this morning. There was an error at the vineyard. We need to get in. We need to double check that wine. It might have been tainted. Could
Big
be a big
problem.
problem.
Big
People could get
problem.
real sick. You got to let us in. We got to take a look. We got to
Hey,
check in and see if all of the wine's okay. We'll take out anything that's not okay. Maybe
Vomit.
2, 3 barrels.
Vomit. When
All
they
right,
ask
gotta do it, Chief. Gotta do it, Chief.
Got to do
Gotta-
it. Got to
we
let
have
us in.
the wine. Gotta look at it.
Bada
What do you
bing,
mean
bada
fucking
boom.
tainted? How's it get tainted? What do you mean tainted wine?
Accident at the
Sometimes-
vineyard. It's very complex, very difficult
Has
to
to do with
explain.
grape.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a very fun party if everyone's running to the bathroom. I'll tell you right now.
I've been to that party. It's not a good party.
All right,
It's not a good party.
Ezra, make me persuasion roll, and you did get some help there, so roll at advantage.
Oh,
God, that's got to make the highlight reel.
okay. And then I'll roll a d4. So it is 21 total.
All right, so you're gonna what? Go inspect them? How will you even fucking know? What are you gonna look at them? Are you gonna smell them? What are you gonna fucking do? And then you're gonna pull one out? Are you gonna replace it? I don't see another barrel here. If we're one short, it's my fucking ass on the line.
So we don't even know whether or not the tainted barrels ended up here. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna check the barrels. All 13. It's probably only 1 or 2 that may have the issue. We're experts. You
Hey,
can
fuck
trust
that
us.
guy. I've got the bread. Fuck the wine guy. You want the bread or not? And they start turning around
No,
talking to the bread guy. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Fucking go. You know where it is.
And we're walking.
Yeah. The inside of the estate is so there's a big sort of main house that is like a manor, and then there's 3 outbuildings, plus there's an outdoor dance floor slash entertainment area. There's no gardens here per se. This is a real like party spot. It's been retrofitted to like really facilitate a lot of people parking wagons and entering and leaving, and getting a lot of food in, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, which building do you want to go to?
The one that has the wine in it, Bill. Come on.
Cool, yeah.
Don't punish me for that.
There's
Don't
got
do
to
it.
be there's got to be a steward around here, right?
Oh, there's tons of people running around. There is tons of people running around. There's easily 100 people running around doing stuff.
Are the people who work for the estate noticeably different than the delivery people?
Yeah, because they're all
Are
wearing
they
uniforms.
wearing
Like,
a livery? Okay.
yeah, delivery people are wearing like work clothes, right? And the people who work here are dressed up, and also they look frantic. The delivery people don't give a shit, right? They're just here to dump their stuff off.
I reach over to one of the people who has a uniform on. I'm like, we need to see the wine. Where's the wine?
It's in the wine cellars.
Where's the wine cellars? Point me
Jesus
immediately. This
fucking
is a
Christ! Okay, it's okay. You go in there, through the double doors, down the stairs.
All right,
And
thank
he
you.
shrugs off. That was easy. It looks like it's the main building that you're going into. You go around sort of to the side. There's like a trellis that has all this stuff on it. The main building is stone, but it has a ton of windows, especially on the first floor. And then it is 3 stories high. It's the only building you can see from outside the walls. The double doors that we're speaking of are like gravel lined to the side, so you open these like white painted sort of French style window doors, and then you sort of go in and around, and there's stone stairs that go down into a sort of cellar. Once you proceed into the cellar, everything's lit, and there are people running around the cellar as well. Right? There's people just moving stuff in and out. There's thousands of bottles of wine down here in racks against the far side. It seems like there's people rotating and checking and pulling, and then nobody's actually paying attention to the kegs right now, but they're constantly like every couple of minutes someone's walking by.
Okay.
Can we inspect the kegs to see if we can see some sort of insignia for the Twisted Vine?
Yes, you can delineate the beer kegs from the wine kegs based on the markings on the kegs.
All right. So let's just start knocking on kegs.
Yeah, we can do.
Just kind of
That's a
shake.
good idea. I mean, yeah, you're right. If we knock on them, we should be able to tell if they're hollowish or filled with liquid.
Or like Dirk said, just get up and shake a couple of them. But yeah.
They're all hollow because they're barrels. All of them also have.
Hollow as in they are not filled to the brim with liquid.
Yeah. Who's gonna do the knocking here?
This is going to be like an investigation check, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I am.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
I'll help him.
Very good. Roll with advantage, Dirk.
All right, hold on.
Holding.
Nope, not doing that. 13.
They all have liquid in them.
Guys, they all have liquid in them.
Dirk, you mind if I give it a shot?
I mean, yeah, you can give it a shot.
Does that
Here,
work?
Jan, I'll help you out.
Okay. $24.
They all have liquid in them, but two of them have less liquid in them.
These two are weird. These two seem to have less liquid.
Okay. Which one of us is going to be the best at prying those open?
So they're all mounted on their side, ready to be tapped. None of them are
Oh.
tapped right now.
Ooh, okay. I don't want to open one. Don't open the top if it's
Let's
on
just
its
take
side.
them out. Just take them down. Just act normal. Take them down.
Yeah, all right, we'll take them.
I'll
We're
pull
going
them
to
down.
take those ones.
They are very heavy. Everybody who wants to move one has to make me a strength check.
There's 6 of us. 3
I rolled
on each one.
I rolled a 20.
Yep, that'll do it. Assuming someone helps you, Dirk, you can roll an advantage.
I'll help you.
I got a 10.
With the advantage?
That's beautiful.
And a plus 4.
We should have just waited till I open this one first. But
Too bad.
Okay.
Oh, you go.
So Dirk fumbles his. Not that he's not strong enough. He just kind of loses the grip on it. And it falls. And let's see if it breaks open. It does not break open. It hits the ground hard, and you're like, oh, God! But then it just kind of sloshes and rolls a little bit, and you manage to catch it. Zerwin,
All
you managed to heist yours over your shoulder.
Yep, I'll set it down. You know what? We should just take them out.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Why don't we have Owen give it a shot since he's a strength character as well?
But just a regular strength check.
Yeah.
Got a dirty 10.
Someone help him, please.
Yeah,
I'm
Ezra
busy.
spits in his hands, rubs them together, and gives Owen the
Fine.
help action.
Nat 20. Is that better?
Considerably.
I loosened it for you.
Loosened it. It was on the ground.
Owen heaves the other one up on his shoulder, and the two of you, Zerwin and Owen, begin to walk towards the gate to escape the... Is that correct?
Yes.
Um,
This is
On-
going to get weird.
on your way out, you are stopped by a officious-looking older man.
Hey, I am walking here.
Yes, but you're stealing our wine.
No, we've got 2 more coming.
Yep,
Um,
these are bad wines.
yeah, these
My
2 are not.
compatriot, the
Error at the vineyard. Give us 6 to 8
Yes.
weeks, you'll get twice as much back on us. No questions asked.
We've
6 to 8
got-
weeks are not going to help me at the party this evening, is it?
We've got
All right.
3 more coming today. We knew this might be an issue. We're sending an extra 3. These 2 are not what you ordered.
yes, and I am
they
walking
sh-
here.
They should be here very shortly.
All right, Owen, make me
He's-
a persuasion roll with Zerwin's help.
18 is the high one.
Nice. Duncan, there's a spider in here. Could you come over?
I'm on my way.
2 more. 3 more are coming. I have
Yes.
your word.
Yep.
Well, they best be here by dinner time, or you'll hear from me.
They will be.
Very well. And
Thank you,
he
sir.
motions you out.
Let's go.
Okay, you make it past the gates, and you are out. Well done, team. Now you have 2 barrels with potentially bodies in them. You don't actually know. It just has less liquid than the other barrels. Can't wait for you to open these and find out someone's just been skimming off the top.
How far are we from? It's gonna be a pain to get these all the way back, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you both rolled 20s, so I'll say that you can carry them all the way back, because
Okay.
you're both big burly dudes if you want.
I mean, we've got these guys can help us. We can get them there somehow.
I mean, you could roll them.
I think that's
We'll just
risky.
Put them down somewhere quiet and open them.
No, let's get them back to trance. I don't think we want to open bodies in the street because we're gonna have to move them again anyway.
Okay.
They're already packaged up.
All right, so you both rolled really well, so I'll say you both can carry them the entire way. It does put a strain on your 2 well-muscled bodies, but you know, you're. I feel like I should make you do a Constitution roll to see if you pass out on the way, but that's less fun. So you eventually get to the Barking Kitty, which is now open, and which means the front door is closed. And also, Brent is at the door with the sliding thing.
Brett, for crying out loud, let us in. These are heavy as hell.
Yeah. He opens the door.
Where's Trant?
The barrels are big. These aren't modern-sized kegs, right? These are big-ass fucking barrels. They're full-size kegs. So it looks kind of funny that the dwarf is carrying one, even if he's a tall dwarf. Yeah.
Let's just go to the storeroom where we had the dead guy.
Yeah. He takes
Okay.
you back there and closes the door behind. He opens the doors for you on the way.
Oof. All right. I set mine down and I pry the top off.
Okay. Yeah. You're gonna spill a shit ton of wine doing that because they're not made to come off. But yeah, inside there is in fact a body of a young man in the wine.
I have carpenter's tools. I could have helped.
You can get yours off cleanly with a roll.
That's fine. Is there a cup in this room?
No. Were you
Right,
gonna
I just-
drink dead person wine?
Absolutely. It was a long walk. and I'm immune to poison.
Yeah, but you're not immune to being completely wrong.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay.
Well,
Just because you're immune to something doesn't
We're
mean you
just-
should do it.
We're just gonna let this wine go to waste then. Okay.
We're gonna let.
Fine. I'm gonna go to the bar, and I walk out.
He did a good job carrying that here all by himself. Owen, do you?
But I am licking the wine off my fingers as I walk to the bar.
That was the first time the paladin was actually a paladin.
Owen throws up. Watching that.
That was pretty good. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and if you get the other one off with your carpentry tools cleanly, so you can actually
I got
put
a 23.
Yeah. So you can actually put yours back on. Zerwin's was just kind of like ripped off. But yes, there is a young woman in yours. It's yeah, they were both dead before they entered the wine. It looks like they are badly beaten.
And at this point, Trent hasn't actually come in and joined us, has he?
No.
All right, let's put the lids back on softly so that if he wants to, it's easy for him to take a look. But we don't want him to walk in here and just see this.
I got a 16 to fasten the lids back on.
Yeah, yours.
I mean, mine's broken, so it's gonna look real funny.
Yeah, it's not. It's also not watertight anymore. But yours goes back on pretty well.
Neither is my stomach.
Trent comes in. Are they in there?
They are. They're dead.
Did you find him?
No.
He works at a warehouse at the Twisted Vine winery. He's like their shipping manager. We
Yes,
haven't
that's what
found
we're
him in
told.
person, but that's
No.
what we got.
I need to talk to Ophelia. He turns to leave and he says, no one else comes in here. They deserve respect, and we are going to take care of them and their families.
I completely agree.
Also, they don't taste half bad, you know?
I didn't
Given
say,
where they're at.
I didn't say that.
He walks out, and then one more time he turns around. Thank you for bringing them home. He does not look well.
So we know who did this? Like, we know where they are? If only we knew a master assassin.
We think we know the greater person actually responsible. We think.
We do? Oh,
If
Qual.
only we knew a master assassin.
Well, sorry, could somebody remind me who...
Oh, it's Janna. It's Janna. Janna's the master assassin.
No. Who are the people we need to convince to change Numerius's vote? Manius is not one of them, right?
He is not on the council.
He's Apocrypha is though, right? The daughter.
Agrippina.
Yeah.
I like Apocrypha though.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
She's on the council, right?
Yes. Agrippina is the heir. Manius is not. So she's on the council. Okay. So is Ophelia. No, sorry. So is Canis, Finitus, Jorn, and yeah, and Ophelia, right? No.
Ophelia's. I don't think. No, there are.
Jorn, Agrippina, Canis, and Finitus. That's who's on the council.
With Numerius, right? Numerius is essentially the head of the council.
Yep.
And we don't know anything about how Agrippina feels about Manius, right? We have not gleaned any information on the relationships between the siblings.
Not really. A few minutes later, Trant comes back in, and he says, "Look what Ophelia just sent me," and he hands you a list, Ezra.
I hope it's a contract for a master assassin.
It's a guest list.
You're putting me under a lot of pressure, Owen.
Guest
I don't
list.
think you know how powerful you are.
Guest list of what?
Manius' party this evening.
Are we on it?
You're not on it, but guess who is? Geegan.
Okay.
Also,
And
yeah, Geegan's on it,
Jana's husband.
as is Agrippina. Oh, look at that. There is someone named Aaron on that list.
Trent, why are you giving me this?
Because I think everything that we need to wrap this up is going to be at that party. Ophelia can get you in.
Hot damn! Is the booze free there?
Yes, but I wouldn't drink the wine.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's too late for that.
it's late and I'm real dumb. So are we? Which ones of these people are we gonna kill or deal with? Just Geegan, or is there more?
You need to make sure that Geegan isn't there to do harm to any of the Manly Eye family.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And if you can take him alive, if preferable, that'll wrap this whole thing up. Wherever that leads is up to Ophelia.
Okay, we'll do our best.
Trant, what can you tell us about the Negrarali children?
Manius is the youngest. He's a real spoiled brat. He parties all the time. He doesn't have any sense of responsibility. He can be charming, and he does have his mother's good looks. And he's wealthy.
What is his relationship with his brothers and sister? Brother and sister.
Two sisters, Agrippina and Babia. Agrippina's the oldest. She has a soft spot for her brother, but she recognizes his many flaws. He idolizes and worships her. The middle child, Babia, despises Manius. They're much closer in age, and they really grew up together. Agrippina's quite a bit older. Babia and Manius don't get along. The animosity is mutual. Babia is very studious, very smart. Will probably be Agrippina's right-hand woman when she takes over the family. Manius is always going to be a leech on that family. I'll let you guys, we'll wrap up this questioning here. You guys should ask me any more questions you want, and then we'll probably end for the night.
What's the dress code for this thing?
Oh, it's all out. And do I have something for you all? I'm going to dress you all tonight. It's going to be great.
What about our weapons?
Oh, don't worry. We'll get those in. Some of them, anyway.
Do you want to hold my axe?
Is that a euphemism, or what are you doing
No.
here? Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful axe. I'm more of a sword guy myself. Something short and stabby, big shield. Shoulder to shoulder with 1,000 of my compatriots. Anyone else?
I'll just have Owen throw me over you guys.
All right, so.
I mean, I'm less inclined if you're going to keep drinking the wine.
It's got you there. All right, so we decided last week that every other week is going to be a shorter session. So that means next week is going to be a shortened session. On those sessions, if we could try to be on time at 8:30, that would be great. And then we'll end at maybe 10 instead of 11 to give people more sleep and more time. And if everybody has to go early, that's fine. But right now, you should give each other danger awesome points, and we can wrap it up. I'm actually inclined to give my danger awesome point to Dirk this evening. There was a couple of times that I think Dirk was really on it and figured out some things. And I'm also going to give one to Zerwin for his late night on the ball, figuring out what's going on to get inside.
I agree. I was going to give mine to Dirk as well.
I'm going to give mine to Ezra for doing Jersey accents, making that choice.
Yeah, I'm giving mine to Ezra as well for leading the most of the evening.
Yeah, it's for Ezra for a lot of talking and also the decision to go full Mario.
I feel like Ezra also burns through DK or Danger Awesome points faster than anybody else.
I'll give Ezra mine as well.
Thanks. I am gonna give mine to Galatus because that, without the 4 on that guidance, I probably would not have succeeded. So that was necessary. I'm not thrilled about the fact that nobody quoted my rippling muscles tearing open that sewer grate all by myself as the reason to give me the danger awesome point. Thanks, guys.
Listen, there's only so much make believe we can agree on.
All right, y'all. Good job. I'm gonna end the stream. Good night, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching.